Diddles! Welcome back. Oh my god. Okay. Couple things first. I know it's shocking that this came out on Monday and I haven't seen it yet, but when I tell you that it has been one hell of a week, it's been one hell of a fucking week, okay? I think everyone can. There's not enough time in the day. Work has been crazy. I come home, my son wants to play with me. Obviously, he comes first, and then it's just like. So, anywho, but I have been keeping up on social media. I did know that this came out, and I did see that some people thought instead of a music video, this was going to be the release of the Melody VR. That was released actually a couple of months ago, if I'm not mistaken. I know they didn't have like a really big promo like rollout for it. It was just kind of like one tweet from Melody and Bullet, and it was like, hey, we're here. But I think they've actually retweeted it a couple of times, and just so everyone knows, that is out. Me personally, I can't justify paying $250 for a headset to watch one band, one show. I would love to say that I could afford it. I would love to say that I have that luxury, but I don't. So I have not seen it. So this is pretty exciting that I get to see a piece of it. You know, piece of me, a piece of it. That wasn't planned, but whatever. Probably wasn't even a good one. Okay. So now that that's been said, the Melody VR is out there if you do have an Oculus or, we have the PlayStation 4 VR. I bought my 8-year-old Doom. It was so funny. But he hates it, never played it but once. Anyways, going on from that. This is a Cayman Jack margarita. I picked it up at the gas station. I saw it and I was like, why have I never seen you before? What are you? It's delicious. It's really strong though. It's not very sweet. Anywho, it's Friday. Okay, it's Friday. So, getting back to it, it's nice that this is out now. We get a piece of the show because I think this was filmed at Ali Pali, if I'm not mistaken. This is directed by Ryan Chang. Alright. Ryan is an amazing photographer. Love his work. I love his color saturation. I love the views he gets. And he's a really great photographer as well, to be kind of like a role model because he watches the shows. He knows the sets in and out. He knows when the good shots are going to be. And that's really, really important. I remember for the longest time, whenever Bullet would be live, because both guitarists are soloists, they would always switch to Padge when the other one had a solo, or vice versa, and it was all kind of, it was very odd up until the last few years. So, in that sense, he knows the sets, he knows exactly which band member is doing what, he knows when they're going to make the funny faces, when they're going to do the jumps, and he's able to catch that because he's done his homework. And I can really appreciate that, and I'm really excited to see the video because I know the colors are going to be vibrant and have a lot of depth. It's not going to be like bam, 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 bam. Because, you know, when you watch some live shows like that, it's kind of like, it makes you dizzy when you watch them. So, super excited. Oh, okay. And if you hear a lawnmower, that's because Adam's mowing. Alright. Here we go. I'm so excited. How many times have I said that? Take a shot for every time I've said I'm so excited. Also,
there's an easier way to enjoy.
let me again just say, no, I'm not going to say I'm excited again. I think it's great Bullet did put this out. I don't think they necessarily had to, but I really enjoy the fact that they did, because it's hard sometimes when the album comes out, you do the tour, the videos come out then, and then you have a long pause, which they have had, and you've got European festivals coming up. You want to zhuzh the fans back up. You never, ever, ever want to leave the fans stagnant for too long because they lose interest. It takes much more to get them amped up. And even though this isn't a band with a big social media presence like some younger bands, it's just enough to keep fans waiting for the next thing, for the next announcement, for the next news. You know what I mean? It's just enough. And Padge has gotten a lot better. He's been asking fans, like, what's your favorite song off this album? What's your favorite song off this album? Jamie's been really good about it, too. Others, not so much. But anyways, I'm really excited they at least put something out for us to enjoy. And then they're going to do the European festivals. There'll be lots of interviews, live shows. So hopefully that will tide us through for the next foreseeable future. I was kind of hoping they would do, I think they only did like one US tour after Gravity came out. I know they did a couple before it actually came out, but they didn't put any new songs on their set list, and that was kind of strange. But anyways, how long is this intro? No one cares how much you love your favorite band. So far, I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, he knows when they're going to do the funny faces. He knows when they're going to do the jumps. He knows when they're most active on stage, and he's also able to catch each band member pretty much equally. I know the vocalist always gets a lot of playtime or screen time because they're singing the whole song. But he does make sure to catch other people too, and that's really important because a band is not just one person, and it's important to remember that, people. So, I have been really enjoying this video. I know all the words to the song. It's not a new song, but it is something new to watch that I haven't seen before, and it's great quality. So, there we go. Oh, and again, if you have epilepsy, do not go to a Bullet show, okay? I love the light show. It's very pretty. Very pretty. Love it. Love the colors. Blue and purple are my favorite. There is a lot of blue and purple in this show. But don't stand in the front either because they have these lights that go across the front, and they're so bright white, and they flash. And if you're 5'6" or 5'5.5" like I am, they will flash you directly in the eyes, and you'll be like, ugh, for like half the show. So just, you've been warned. Love the slow motion bits. That's really cool. Love it. Again, it's a really, really, I love this album. I know a lot, okay. It's not like we weren't lubed up for this album. We were told, caution, like, the album dropped in June. We were told in, like, fucking February, this will not be normal. You will hate it at first, but it will grow on you. So you can't say the fans weren't lubed up enough, because we were given more than fair warning. It drove us crazy. And we heard it and we're like, and I can't get it. I play it in my car almost. It's not so heavy where you can't listen to it in the morning. It's just all around a great album to listen to. I literally have it cycling anywhere I'm going, anything that I'm doing. Like I said, it's not too heavy for early in the morning. You get off of work. Not Dead Yet is a great one to jam out to. I still love Coma, Under Again. Those are like so good to me. And Leap of Faith with that guitar just like cutting right through it. I thought that was a keyboard for the longest time, and then I heard the reverb off of it one day in Florida, and I had it going in the car, and I was like, hold on, wait a second. I replayed that song probably 100 times that afternoon, and I was like, that's a fucking guitar. It's just, and you don't realize all of the little elements that they put into it because it's so simple until you stop and actually listen to it and hear it and break it apart. And it's like the smallest things that they've put here and there to make it what it is. Even though it sounds so simple, there's actually a lot more behind it. And I like something that I can dig into. Some songs really are simple, but even Breathe Underwater, they're like, it's so stripped back, there's nowhere to hide. You still have some element of layering, vocal stacking, things like that. So, again, don't let them fool you. They're little masterminds at what they do. They're just not so evident about it sometimes. And I am super, super stoked for album number 7, I believe. It's also the second album with the new record label. They only signed to do 2, so I'm like a little bit like, a little worried what's going to happen after album number 7, because I don't want them to quit music, but I'm sure they probably want to go on to like production and things like that, which in a way we would still be able to hear their music, hear their influence or effect on it or something like that. And I wish them well no matter what they do. Hopefully they just also keep up Bullet as a side project, or keep up with their other side projects, make new ones, do solo acoustic stuff. I know a couple of them have wanted to do that for a really long time. So yeah, it kind of worries me that it's like the last album they have to fulfill, that they, have a contract for. But they've said, at first they said it was going to be a mixture of Gravity and Venom. And I was like, no fucking way are they gonna give me what I want, because they're men, right? It's like it's like men in general have this saying. It's like, okay, don't give them what they want, always leave them wanting more. And it's just like in their DNA. So I knew it wasn't gonna go that way, because if you can give me that heaviness and the electronic elements and then blend it with like solos and diddlies, and which are really just fast-paced arpeggios that I'm just obsessed with, it would blow my mind. But they're not going to do that because they're men. So they came out later and said, well, the vocalist said, maybe I just had to get it out of my system because this is sounding a lot heavier and a lot more, we're going this direction now. And I'm like, great. So supposedly 8 or 9 songs are written, but it won't be out till 2020. Don't know why that is. I think they're waiting on a producer they want, which is understandable. Hopefully they give us little snippets like they did in between The Poison and Screaming Fire. So, no, I'm sorry. Screaming Fire and Fever. I'm getting my albums mixed up. They gave us Begging for Mercy. Let's see. Fever came out in April, I believe. Early April. And they gave us Begging for Mercy in January. It was like a total freebie too. I remember that. I'm old, okay? I feel so old. Anywho, so that was me fangirling for the foreseeable future. You knew it was coming. I was just waiting for that outlet to go fangirl on you. So, anywho, hopefully that encapsulates everything that I wanted to say. I really, really enjoyed the video. It was very nicely done. Very, very professional. And I really enjoyed it. I liked it better than, what was the last live video they did? Wasn't it for Temper? I think. Anyways, I like this a lot better. I like the darker colors, I like the contrast. I've said all I've said. We're gonna end this because it's probably 25 fucking long minute video. Alright. Peace.